Alright, I'm here a couple of minutes late, but you guys know to expect that from me by this point, don't you? Alright. Not too bad, actually. It's not my fault entirely. I stopped over at my parents', to check on my mother, my poor injured mother, bless her heart. And also they cooked me dinner. But my dad's doing the cooking, since my mother's, hand is not so great. He does great, but it's just, sometimes things go a little bit wrong, and tonight was one of those nights while he tried to cook a meal. And because of that, we ended up getting dinner a little bit later than I had anticipated, and I had to rush back over to my apartment so I could stream tonight. That being said, it is a Friday evening. I hope you guys are all doing fantastic on this Friday evening. And I hope you have something fun going on this weekend. I, myself, have to try to be social tonight. I don't know how I'm looking forward to it because I have to go out pretty late. There's this friend of mine who opens this new, bar, piano, lounge thing, and he's throwing a party at it, but it's like an after-hours, after-dark, party type of thing. And so it doesn't start until midnight tonight. And so... So to be supportive, I bought a ticket, and I'm gonna try and go and see my friend at this thing. It's gonna be a late night for me. You guys know I'm an early bird, so when an event starts at midnight, that's already a bit much for me. But I'm gonna try. Cosmetology Corner, Pyro Demoni, Jacob Welsh, In Between Heaven and Hell, hello, you did not miss a damn thing. I'm just starting late. And Tom Leah, I'm here and caught up, and I'm ready for the finale. I can't wait for when you play the Ace Attorney and Professor Layton crossover game. Oh, funny you bring that one up. I think we're getting close to that one. So I know about it. So yeah, keep your eyes peeled for that one. Now then, I think it's time to move onward. In the last one, we played as Miles Edgeworth and we did some investigation, and now it's time to go to trial. I don't know how this is going to play out. I'm very curious because Sister Iris seems pretty guilty, but we also think that maybe she's actually the twin of Dahlia, and I also still have the hypothesis that maybe Dahlia herself was, possessed by a demon, and then she went up to this, channeling dojo to get that, to get an exorcism. To get it exorcised out of her? Something like that. Why don't we start? Stephen Raisin, hello. I've wasted enough of your guys' time. Alright. February 9th, 9:47 a.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby number 1. You guys know that because it's a trial day, the drama is going to be, pretty intense today. I look forward to it. Oh my. Mr. Larice feels that way about me? Oh my god. Oh yeah, and we checked in with Larry. I'm sorry, Larice. He thinks that Dahlia/Iris is in love with him. And so he blackmailed her into confessing that and meeting her at the cruising shack. But apparently, she simply was unaware. Between Heaven and Hell, have we seen Pearls or Maya yet, though? No, we have not, and we've got a couple of concerns about them. So Maya, she's across the bridge that had burned down at the inner sanctum, or the inner temple, to do her spirit channeling training. However, we left her alone there, and so she's chilling, she's hanging out, it's fine. This is par for the course for Maya. Kidnapping, getting put on trial for murder. You know what? This one's actually better for her than some of the other situations she's been in. Pearls, though, we're deeply concerned because Pearls was last seen with Elise Donham, and Elise Donham is dead. So, and Pearls is completely unaccounted for, so I'm a little bit scared about that. Anyways, let's focus. Apparently, he isn't aware of your real secret at all. There's no time to be embarrassed. I'm sorry. I'm hardly accustomed to that sort of thing. Wow, modesty of a queen, right? Yeah, I'm sure you never get hit on. Although there is that scientific study that says sometimes hot people do get hit on less, or very beautiful people like Iris, because they come across as intimidating, and people even if they're not rude in personality type, some people will just look at them and be like, wow, that's an unapproachable person, I can't hit on them. Worry not, and in any case, whatever it was that he saw on the night of the incident, mark my words, I will drag it out of him. Does that mean Mr. Larice is the witness today? No. I believe that none will be the first to take the stand. Sister Bikini? She claims to have seen the very instant in which you carried out the crime. I just want to ask you one last time, Iris. It really wasn't you who killed Miss Elise Donham, correct? That is correct. It wasn't me. Very well then. Mr. Edgeworth? Yes? You are a prosecutor, aren't you? Are you sure about this? If your true identity is revealed... Don't worry, I've made the necessary arrangements. Oh, I see. Iris, it is a prosecutor's job to doubt people. But right now, I am a defense attorney. A defense attorney's job is to believe in people, and to believe until the bitter end. That's what my friend, my special friend once told me. Oh, look at the impact we've had on Mr. Edgeworth. This is great. Mr. Edgeworth. I simply ask that you watch and decide for yourself whether or not I am fit to do the task I have been entrusted. Oh, I will watch your every move, buddy. Frank, hello! My Friday evening is going delightful. I have to go out later, but for now, I'm just gonna relax a tiny bit. And to look at... Oh, hang on. Sorry. Got a message I think I need to take a look at. Yes. Okay. Anyways, I'll get back to that later. Alright. She's gonna leave her defense in our capable hands. And we know that Edgeworth has some big hands. And you know what they say about big hands. Big defense. Alright, 10 a.m., time to start court. I know it's gonna be our Canadian judge, right? Yeah, there's that beard. No prosecutor, though. That's a little bit weird. Oh, yeah, court is now in session for the trial of Sister Iris of Hazakura Temple. Eh? The defense is ready, Your Honor. The defense does indeed appear to be ready, eh? However, the same cannot be said for the prosecution in this case. Indeed. I'm not sure I like such a blatant waste of this court's time, eh? So Godot really is just gonna, like, check out. He really doesn't care. He's like, oh, Mr. Wright isn't here. I'm out, dude. Don't really give a shit. Man, everybody's got the hots for Phoenix. They just literally quit their job when he's not in the room. I can relate. Have you ever had, like, a crush on somebody at, like, work or at school? Oh, school was the big one for me, because I was a closeted gay kid, and I definitely remember, like, having crushes on, like, boys in classes that I would never be able to do anything about. And then if they were, like, absent a day, I'd just be crushed a little inside, because I'd be like, I was looking forward all day to going to English class and getting to talk to this boy I like, and he's not here! But I also didn't, you know, ditch class or court. An empty prosecutor's chair can only mean that the prosecutor has no confidence in their ability to prove their case, eh? Well, it would seem this case is already over before it had the chance to begin. I'm ready to announce my verdict at this time. This court finds the defendant. Wow, okay. Freddy! Oh my god, he got Francisca von Karma! Oh, the voice crack. The prosecution stands ready. Oh, and you are? Francisca von Karma, prosecuting prodigy. Oh, von Karma, you say? Oh my god, boys, it's Franny. She's back. I think she's my favorite prosecutor. Don't tell Edgeworth I said that. Oh, perchance you wouldn't be of any relation to the legendary prosecutor Manfred von Karma, eh? Legends are a thing of the past. I am a von Karma, that is all. Upon special request, I flew in today for the purposes of prosecuting this case. Oh, you did? Then you must be quite a big shot, eh? By the way, Mr. Edgeworth. Yes, Your Honor. I'm almost certain that I've seen you somewhere before. Or am I just imagining things? You look very much like a prosecutor I met once. I believe you're imagining things, Your Honor. Oh, I'm so sorry then. Miss von Karma, do you have anything to say? There is no such weakling as the man among those of the prosecuting office. My God, I forgot that. The way Francisca talks, it gets me a little bit tongue twisted. Let me try this again and back it up. Franny, it's been a while since I've had to do you. Wait, what? Let's move past it. There is no such weakling as this man among these of the prosecutor's office. Still messed it up, but that's fine. We're just gonna skate by it that time. Oh, there isn't. But I'm sure. Oh, I told you, there is no such weakling. Oh, what, a whip? I'm not sure I care for such a thing in my courtroom, to be totally honest. Bailiff, remove that whippet.
Hold it.
Oh. I have no objection to the whip. Wow, what good friends they are. Franny's helping us out. That's weird. It's probably because she just wants to battle Edgeworth. Franny loves a good fight. Oh, you don't? The prosecution can wield a whip or drink 17 cups of coffee. But there's still only one truth. That is what I stand here to prove today. This promises to be interesting, Miles Edgeworth. I had expected to face Phoenix Wright here today. But looking at you now, maybe this is what I've been waiting for all this time. Miles Edgeworth, I will not allow this chance to crush you slip through my fingers. I see you brought your flair for the histrionic. Allow me to add to the things I'm not sure about. People acting bizarrely in my court. Oh, I'm sorry, Miss Von Karma. The stage is set. Now continue with the proceedings, Your Honor. Very well, Miss Von Karma. Please give an outline of the case. Alright. With as little whipping as possible, eh? The murder victim is the famed picture book author, Miss Elise Donham. Her body was found in the Hazakura Temple courtyard. She had been stabbed through the torso by a ceremonial sword from a golden statue. The sword in this picture is the weapon in question, correct? Very well. The court accepts this photo of the crime scene. Alright, courtyard where Elise Donham was murdered. There is no mistake, Your Honor. This was the doing of Sister Iris. After all, there's a witness to her crime. Oh, very well. Please bring this witness to the stand. And so it begins, my first and last trial as a defense attorney. Oh my God! Oh, I knew she was short, but Jesus Christ. Witness, state your name and occupation, please. Oh, hold it there. I'm not sure about being sure if I care. I'm not sure about being not sure if I care for this at all. Wow, what are these words? Why is the game doing this to me? Witness, please stand up. And nice and straight. If I recall correctly, there are a few milk crates in the defendant's lobby for our back pain-plagued witness. Oh, bailiff. Fetch a crate for this poor lady, please. Hello, Bikini. How you doing, girl? Once again, your name and occupation, please. Oh, little old me? Well, I'm the head nun at Hazakura Temple on Eagle Mountain. My name is Bikini. You got it? Bikini, ha ha ho ho. It's nice to meet everyone. Oh my God, he's smitten. Oh, but you don't appear to be wearing a bikini right now. The courtroom is the garden of holy judgment. Those with the lechery in their hearts should leave this sanctuary at once. Oh, you want me to leave? Oh, no need to get your bikinis in a twist. Let me tell you, I'm a sight to behold in the summer. I bet you are, sweetie. Oh my God. In any case, witness, I hear that you saw the crime take place on the night in question. That's right. I can still hardly believe it myself, to be honest. There's no way dear little Iris could do anything like that. Let us hear what you have to say, then. First, tell us about your own movements through the night, eh? Alright, witness testimony, boys. Put on your thinking caps. Let's try to do a good job out here. Well, you see, that night I was helping an acolyte with her training in the inner temple, but... well, as you can see, my back likes to act up violently. So I left Iris to help the acolyte, and I returned to Hazakura Temple. There's no bath at the inner temple, you see, and I needed a long, hot soak. It was after I had finished, just as I was heading back. That's when I saw it! Seems like you cut yourself off there. So it was simply coincidence that you found yourself returning to Hazakura Temple. Yes, you could say that. If my back hadn't been in so much pain, I would have stayed at the inner temple. Sounds like a pretty important statement she just made. There's only one problem with this testimony that I can see. And you're not about to fall at the first hurdle now, are you, Mr. Edgeworth? Mr. Edgeworth, please begin your cross-examination, eh? Oh, I will. I'm gonna make this girl sweat it out. She's gonna feel the real hot wrath of Edgeworth fury. Alright, press everything, get our information in order. What is this inner temple? Well, you see, conversing with the spirits is what we train people to do, right? We'll be the ones asking the questions, madame. In order to do that, a place as strong in spiritual power, that's what is required. There's a small temple across Dusky Bridge called the Inner Temple. Acolytes must spend an entire night there to undergo intense training. And how exactly do you help with this process? It's all quite exacting. It can't be performed without a nun supervising. Like a tutor watching to make sure a spoiled child studies. A tutor with a whip in your case. If that's the case, then why did you return to Hazakura Temple where the murder took place? Well, as you can see, my back weight stacked up. Right. Violently, you say? That's right. It's no laughing matter, especially in winter. I can't hold anything heavier than a knife and a fork during the cold months. Just being alive is like strict training. On the night of the murder, was this fabulous back of yours hurting again? That's right. Raging like a bull in a pig pen. I almost fainted once or twice. I just knew that unless I warmed up, it was going to finally finish me off. Right, okay, keep pressing. You left Iris to help. With what? What do you think? The Acolyte's training, of course. It was just past 10 p.m., so we were starting to enter into the training exercises proper. Oh, wasn't it your place? Oh my god, they're the same. Wasn't it your place to remain with the disciple, eh? Well, the job is simply to watch over the Acolytes so they don't pass away. Just to confirm this point again, that night, you met Iris in the Inner Temple, correct? Yes, I did. She's a gentle, honest girl. She's never once failed to follow my directions. Right, that's suspicious. We're saying that she's in two places at the same time, basically. So you returned to Hazakura Temple in order to take a bath. My back is to blame for everything. It's a do-or-be-done kind of world, after all. And how long were you in the bath for, if you don't mind my asking? My! What a filthy little rogue you are! I know what's on your mind. I beg your pardon? I bet your next question is going to be, where exactly did you wash? Listen, I just want to know what part of your body you wash first and which part of your body you wash last. And do you use the same bar of soap everywhere? This is why you have to watch the young ones. What are you going on about? Oh! Pathetic, Miles Edgeworth. The lowest of low. So there's some sort of kick me sign stuck to the defense's bench. Yeah, it doesn't feel so good to be the defense attorney, does it, Miles? You're gonna have a newfound appreciation for me, I think. Anyway, I couldn't afford to be away from my post for too long, you understand, so... Alright, and then that's when she saw it. This is the question that we need to, follow up on. The crime took place in the courtyard, correct? When you go from my room to the main hall, you have to take a winding hallway from which you can see the courtyard. That's right. In other words, it was pure coincidence that the witness saw the crime taking place before her eyes. There was no complicated setup in this case. That certainly seems to be true, eh? There's indeed only one problem with this testimony. If I can clearly point out what it is, then I can begin to quantify just how good this witness's memory and observation skills are. Alright, so let's see if we can find the hole. Helping with training, her back likes to act up, so she left. That's fine. Actually, I left Iris to help the Acolyte. Do we have evidence? Do we have a statement that contradicts that? I mean, that maybe, but probably not. Weather report, Hazakura Temple map. Iris's testimony. That's the one we want.
Objection!
Objection! Witnesses have to undergo their own trials, I'm afraid. The defendant's fate rests on their powers of observation and memory, after all. Well, don't worry. I'm more than up to the task. I'm a woman of faith, after all. The head honcho of Hazakura Temple. In that case, Miss Honcho, I'd like you to explain something for me. The discrepancy between your testimony and that of the defendant, Iris. She claims that after ringing the lights out bell, she went back and stayed in her own room. Which means she did not go to the inner temple at all. Oh, no! She said that! A defendant or a witness? Who is more likely to lie, do you suppose? The defendant is simply lying to cover her own back. But that lie doesn't make sense. But that is completely illogical. Thank you, Edgeworth, because she put herself at the scene of the crime. If she wanted to lie, she should have said that she was at the inner temple. The murder was committed in the courtyard of Hazakura Temple. Claiming that she went to the inner temple, that would have made for a much better alibi. Yeah, I didn't think that one through, Franny, did you? You're a little bit rusty. It's okay, girl. I know you're gonna catch up. But that is odd. Whatever the reason, I can't believe that she would lie. She does indeed seem to have honest eyes, eh? Oh! All people lie. That is my belief. In this universe, you're kind of right, Franny. Why am I the only one being whipped here? Anyway, neither the witness nor the defendant have any reason to lie. No. Which means, I think I need a double-double. And a box of Timmy Hoes. We must call your memory into question, witness. Oh dear, dear. You are older than me, yet you want to play that game, do you? Oh, well. That isn't exactly what I... My memory is perfect! Crystal clear, especially in winter! Then, I suppose it's too early to end this cross-examination, eh? Mr. Edgeworth, if you're gonna question the memory of the witness, you'll need to show a more decisive piece of evidence. Understood, Your Honor. It was naive to think that alone would do the trick. Alright, then please add your comments about Iris to the testimony. Fucking Chris. I fucking wrote a boot. Please add your comments about Iris to the testimony. And let us return to the cross-examination. Alright. Where's her statement about Iris? Iris came to the inner temple. She was dressed exactly as she had been at dinner. So... this might be the thing then. Because she gave her hood to Mr. Nick, to us, before the lights out bell rang. And I think she wore her hood at dinner, so she couldn't have been dressed the same. She exposed her hair, right? Let's try it. Yeah, buddy. Nothing's getting by me today. Witness, let's get one thing straight. The defendant whom you claim to have met, she was wearing this demon warding hood, correct? Of course. This is a very important piece of cloth, I'll have you know. Ha ha ho ho! Wait a minute.
Objection!
Hold it right there! Why do you have that? That's the question of the day now, isn't it, Miss Von Karma? I'll have you know that this hood was given to someone as a gift that night, before the lights out bell was rung. What? You know where I'm going with this, don't you? If the witness had seen the defendant as she claims, then the Iris she saw should have been missing this very hood. Well. Oh my god, look at all these boxes. Wow, she's like a little, never mind. It's not a bad feeling at all exposing contradictions like this. Now I understand that happy look on Wright's face every time he does it. Order! Order in the court! Oh my goodness, I'm sorry! Sister! This hood. You have spare ones around the temple, don't you? Oh, spares. Well, I do tend to make too many of them, I suppose. I see. Stockpile. A surplus of hoods, eh? Each nun is only given one hood. This should be the only hood that Iris owned. then this is quite strange. Oh, I'm sorry. If there was a surplus of hoods, then she could have worn one of those. There's no contradiction here. I'm sorry to break this to you, Miss Von Karma, but you won't get away that easily. Discrepancies such as this will sow seeds in any human heart. The seeds of doubt. Witness! Well, I don't wish to call your testimony into doubt. You must give every detail with precision. I'm not sure I'm comfortable going along with this. Sister, you shall continue with your testimony. Tell us what you saw after finishing your bath on your way back to the inner temple. Those seeds of doubt are sprouting in the judge's heart. They need just a little more stimulation to bear fruit. Wow, okay, stimulate me, I'll bear you some fruit. Contradictory stimulation. After my bath. I finished my bath around 11, and I thought I should return to the inner temple. And as I was walking back, I heard a noise from the courtyard. I took a look and Iris was all Mystic Elise. And with that sword of all things. Mystic Elise was staying in the corner room, which faces onto the courtyard. The stabbing I saw must have occurred after she was pushed out of her window. Oh, you saw a truly terrible sight, didn't you? If I was in your place, then it would be much like Miss Von Karma whipping Mr. Edgeworth in two in court. And me seeing it all from this very chair. Well, something like that, eh? This judge. His imagination is about as vivid and creative as Detective Gumshoe. I would look the fool if I commented on such foolishness. Anyway, this case is mine, Miles Edgeworth. Calling everyone by their full name, can't you do something about that habit of yours? Franziska Von Karma. Alright, let's press it all. Get it done. Let's roast this witness alive. Hold it! How far is it from your room to the inner temple? Well, let me think about that a moment. About 20 minutes on these stumps of mine. It's about 15 minutes to Dusky Bridge from Hazakura Temple. The inner temple is just beyond the bridge. Still, you never made it back there that night, did you? That's right. I was heading along the walkway toward the main hall. Okay, press that. You say you heard a noise. Thump! Just like that. That could only be the sound of the victim falling. It's very quiet in the temple, you know. You can even hear the snow falling from the branches. Thump! Just like that. Oh, but then, you couldn't this noise you heard have been snow falling to the ground? Oh, you know, I never thought of that. Ha ha ho ho! Oh ho 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 ho! Oh my god, these two are made for each other. I want to just see them get married. The next one to laugh gets a whipping. Well, jeez, you fucking bitch. Whatever the source of the sound, I looked over at the courtyard then. Iris! And Mystic Elise! And the sword! Oh, it's too much! This is the second time that the witness has testified to seeing the defendant, but some doubt remains in these claims. Hey! What does that mean, you fucking asshole? Just because you're a good-looking young man, that doesn't give you the right to abuse me like this. The murderer who stabbed the victim with the sword, Sister Bikini, try to recall exactly who it was you saw as clearly as you can. Well, you are a handsome young man, so I'll forgive you. Oh, now that you mention it, there was something awfully strange about her. Something that has been bugging me this whole time. Well, please don't keep us in suspense. Her hood! Her hood? That's right. It's coming back to me. Iris! She wasn't wearing her hood. I thought something was out of place, but... You know, it all makes sense now, doesn't it? After all, she'd given that hood away to someone, right? Oh! Oh, shit! Oh, I backed myself into a corner here. Ha! You've dug your own grave, Miles Edgeworth. What do you say, Mr. Edgeworth? Is this testimony important? Yeah. Oh gosh. This may initially appear to put me at a disadvantage. Yep, it certainly does. Yep. But I can't see any other leads at the moment. Your Honor, I would like these new statements to be added to the testimony. Ha! Miles Edgeworth. If you want to hang yourself, you need only ask. I'll gladly lend you my whip. Wow, Jesus, Franny, coming for blood today. Witness, add that statement to your testimony. Oh, no problem. All right, she didn't have her hood on. Do I have anything that can contradict that? Probably not, right? Oof. Jeez. Jeepers. Let's press it and see what Edgeworth is thinking. You are sure about that? Yes. After all, we always wear the same clothes. I don't mean because we're poor, you understand. It's our style. Yes, that's it. There's absolutely no need to explain yourself. Anyway, she looked different from normal, so that really stuck out. Like me holding a whippet puppy instead of my whip. At least then it might bite you and not someone else. Iris didn't have her hood on, I'm sure of it. Oh, very well. Now please tell us about the victim, eh? Alright, she was staying in the corner room, which faces to the courtyard. I mean, I guess let's keep pressing for now and circle back. The room the victim was staying in overlooked the courtyard, correct? Which means the victim's room was on the second floor. No. Hazakura Temple is a single-story building. But the mountain itself slopes downward. Yep, we covered all this yesterday. Which elevates the main gate side of the temple and the guest rooms on the back. That makes them about the height of a 2-story building. I see. Victor was one of those elevator rooms, right? Yes, I should know. I'm the one who carried her things to her room after all. Okay. Stabbing must have occurred after she was pushed out of her window. Oh, this we can contradict, though. What makes you so sure of all this? Because that doesn't jive with the autopsy report. It's just like I told you earlier. I heard a noise from the courtyard, okay? Thump! Just like that. You're one smart sister, I'll give you that. Oh, you're gonna regret saying that, Franny. The autopsy report states that the victim's body was covered in bruises, indicating a fall from around 10 feet in height. Well, Franny, maybe you should read the full autopsy. Maybe read the rest of the report, where it says loss of blood from stab in the back. Body fell 10 feet after death. Where's that from? Somebody help me out. God, was it a Nickelodeon show? I have this distinct memory of, like, these two characters going back and forth, like, read the rest of the report. No, it was the Fairly Odd Parents. I figured out. There was something where they were showing a clip, and it was like, show the rest of the clip! And then something happens, and it makes someone look incriminating. They're like, show the rest of the clip! And then it's like, the other person looks incriminating. They're like, show the rest! And they just go back and forth. I'm sorry. Rant over. It was just a thing that popped into my brain. But Franny, come on, for Christ's sakes, you gotta read the full report, girl. Alright, this is where we're gonna wreck her. I know it. I'm more than just a pretty face, especially in winter. I'm a woman of faith. Yeah. We've been here. Okay, yeah, a woman of faith, real great, head honcho. Okay. Let's end her life. The stabbing must have occurred after she was pushed out of the window. Funny you say that. Objection! Impressive logic, that's what I'd like to say anyway. Oh, please! My brain is something else, especially in the winter. However, I think you are overlooking one thing. Miss Von Karma, would you be so kind as to take another look at the autopsy report? The autopsy report? The victim did fall from a height of 10 feet. However, this fall was after she was killed. Maybe you should have read the rest of the report. Ah! Oh, that's right. It says after death right there. The scene this witness claims to have seen is contradictory. If the defendant stabbed and killed the victim there in the courtyard, how did the victim then go on to take a 10-foot fall after death? Yeah, Franny, you grasp that chest. Order! The victim was killed and then fell? Well, if that is the case, then the victim must have been killed in her room, no? Don't you agree? That is the logical conclusion. Yes, that's right. The victim must have been stabbed by the defendant in her own room. And she was thrown out of her window onto the courtyard below. Oh. Were there any signs of a struggle in Miss Donham's room? She was stabbed with a sword. That would leave a blood stain, wouldn't you agree? Probably would. Well, Miss Von Karma, was there any blood? Oh, I'm sorry. No traces of blood were found on the victim's room. Your whip has just caused traces of blood to be found on my glorious playoff beard. However, there was no blood in the room. And your claim that— oh my goodness, I'm sorry. I'm sure there's no need for me to go over this, as I'm sure your honor is well aware of when a stab wound produces the most blood. When it produces the most blood? Very little blood is actually lost at the moment of a blade's insertion. If you want to talk about when the most blood would be lost from a body, that would be when the blade is removed. Indeed, with the weapon still in place, it acts like a lid on the wound. Oh yeah, that's true. With the weapon still in the body, there wouldn't be much bleeding. A perfectly reasonable line of thinking. We have come to a conclusion then. The victim was thrown out of the window with the sword still in place. This removes all the contradictions. God, her eyes are beautiful, but she's so evil. Order! I also admit that this is a probable version of events, but she's not actually that evil. She's low-key helping us, kinda, sorta, even though she doesn't think she is. I'd expect no less from Franziska von Karma. She locates and takes control of every vital point. Between heaven and hell, I can't believe Karma missed something as simple as that. She's very rusty. Yeah, I wonder what she's been doing this whole time. Well, it seems that we now have a clear testimony from the witness, eh? Remove all supposition on your part and tell us only the facts, please. Witness, please, remain standing on the crate. Well, don't go selling me short now. The weight of winter snow has bent me out of shape. Especially my back and my mood. Sister, please, give us your testimony. I will give you a vigorous massage once we are finished here. Whoa, Franny, giving out the massages to the older women. Okay, girl, I see you, I read you, I feel you. Can I get one? Is that only for women? I don't know. I love a good massage. Anyways, let's move on. With the whip. Oh boy, all right. She's not evil, she's aggressive friendly. I agree, Stephen. All right, further details, next testimony. Let's see if we can rip her apart yet again. When I looked across the scene, the sword was already in place. Thinking about it now, I guess I didn't actually see her stab Mystic Elise. I've never seen so much blood before, though. That's when I fainted. You can't blame me, can you? And when I awoke, Mystic Amy, or Mystic Elise. No, Mystic Amy was stabbing Mystic Elise. That's what had happened. That's an interesting little tidbit. This all confirms Miss Von Karma's theory. Von Karma strive for nothing but perfection. Putting together such facts is nothing for me. You should know that, Miles Edgeworth. Perfection is an impossibility, Franziska Von Karma. And I'm here to teach you just that. Alright, rip her apart. Press all the things.
Hold it!
At that time, was the victim bleeding? Well, I was very shocked to be seeing all of this, of course. So I'm not entirely sure. But I don't think I saw any blood. Not then. I'm sure that you didn't. The weapon was acting as a plug in the wound. I'll plug your wound. In any case, let's be clear on one very important point. Did you actually see the instant in which the victim was stabbed? Nope, she did not, so let's press it. Think carefully, this is very important. It's Iris we're talking about here. I'm thinking for all I'm worth. No, when I looked over, the sword was already in Mystic Elise's body. It might not be conclusive, but this testimony supports her theory. The victim was stabbed in her room and then dropped into the courtyard. I think this proves it rather well, Miles Edgeworth. Never seen so much blood before. Ba-bum. So, you're saying that you saw the victim's blood? That's right. Some of it had splattered onto Iris, too. When the defendant was arrested, she was meditating in her room. And her blood-flecked clothing was neatly folded in the corner. Tom Leah! So this is something I just noticed last episode, but didn't the, Wisdom Lady's staff have a purple amethyst orb, which is now missing? That is correct. The staff had an amethyst. It doesn't have it now. We've taken note of that. So we have a missing gemstone. We'll probably have to look for it at some point in time. It'll probably come up as a piece of evidence, but we don't have it in evidence at the moment. Not currently. What? The clothes were blood-feckled as well? Oh, that seems quite conclusive to me, eh? What should I do? Do I press this point further? Yeah, press it further. Going back to your previous statement, you said that you saw a little bleeding when the victim was stabbed. But now you say you saw the victim bleeding. Well, I say what I saw is what I saw. Well, what did you see? Maybe I didn't see the poor woman get stabbed, but I saw the girl pull the sword out of her, plain as day. There it is. Pulling the sword out, which you're not supposed to do to someone. That's for the ambulance people, the EMTs, the people who know what they're doing to handle the situation. If somebody's been stabbed, you're not supposed to pull the knife out yourself, because you can do just as much damage to somebody, or significantly more damage, and cause the blood loss that will cause them to die. Well, it wasn't exactly pulling, it was more like it came out. Witness, you will add this statement to your testimony. Oh, was that important? More important than you can imagine. Alright. Hold it! Press that. Smoothly, you say. You're saying you saw the sword smoothly slide out? That's right. The whole thing happened right next to the gold statue of Mystic Ami. Mystic Elise was on the ground and Iris was stooped over her. The sword was buried up to the hilt. Oh my god, this poor woman. Like, we have to keep looking at this image where she's just like screaming out in agonizing pain. My god. Oh my god, between heaven and hell. Don't pull out. Got it. Words to live by. When Iris stood up, the sword in her hands just slid out of Mystic Elise's body. It slid out from that gaping wound. Well, it goes without saying. If the sword was removed, there would be bleeding. Nothing out of place here, Your Honor. Is that really the case? I can't help but feel that something about this testimony is very out of place. That something which couldn't possibly have happened appears to have happened. Huh. I saw the instant in which the blade plunged into the hilt was smoothly drawn out. Maybe the issue is the smoothly drawn out thing? I mean, the murder weapon was a Shichishito. Oh! It was plunged, she's saying it was plunged into the hilt, but look at the blood splatter on this thing. This doesn't go all the way down to the hilt. The whole thing wasn't inside of her. I think that's it. Let's throw it. Yeah, buddy! Sister Bikini, you are a reliable witness. At least I'd like to think so. But there are too many contradictions here. Yes. What do you mean? You make it sound as though I'm a liar. But you are handsome, so I'll forgive you. Me. Ignoring all the red flags when a man is handsome. What contradictions are you talking about? In the scene that the witness claims to have seen, the weapon was thrust up to the hilt into the victim. Furthermore, the killer withdrew the weapon smoothly from the body. However, both of these are complete impossibilities. Oh, boys. Oh my god, this box sprite. What do you mean? Please explain. Oh my goodness, I'm sorry. Explain yourself. To start with, do you think it would be possible to stab someone to the hilt with this? No matter how I look at the defendant, she doesn't appear strong enough for that. Yeah, that's true also. I was going for the fact that you couldn't see blood on the entire thing, but that also makes a lot of sense. Doesn't appear? What meaningless dribble. I too may appear to be weak and frail, but I can crush men under my heel and make them weep, should I choose. The objection stands. I whipped a little back there, I must admit it. That isn't the only issue here. If this sword was truly stabbed into the body up to the hilt, we'll just look at all the branches on it. It clearly wouldn't come out smoothly. That! We also have the problem of the amount of bleeding. It's true that when a blade is left in a body, it acts as a plug of sorts. However, when the weapon is shaped like this, it's an entirely different story. The wound would be too large for the blade to completely stop the bleeding. Objection! That's nothing more than conjecture. In reality, the victim was stabbed with the shichishito. Even a weapon of this nature may still sometimes slide out smoothly and may still sometimes stop the blood loss. Yeah, I'm jacked, Edgeworth. Fighter on this. I'm not finished. There's still one more conclusive contradiction. Oh, you've still got more. This one is simple. If this sword really was thrust all the way to the hilt, why is there only blood on this? Thank you, Edgeworth. My God, you know what? I love you. You're handsome. But you gotta work on getting to the point faster. You did this whole roundabout thing about things that Francisca could easily explain away. When the blood not going to the hilt, that's the point that sticks. So why don't we just use that one? Why don't we skip the fluff? Okay, buddy? Love you. You're doing great. But I'm a professional defense attorney at this point, so I wanna give you some pro tips. If this witness is telling the truth, then there should be blood along the entire length of the sword. No! Yes. When you pull out, if the whole thing isn't covered, you didn't go all the way in. Bravo, Mr. Miles Edgeworth! Raising this many contradictions from a single piece of evidence, all the other attorneys I know could maybe manage one, if that. But what does all this mean? You have proven contradictions regarding the murder weapon, but having come this far, there can only be one answer. And that is? The weapon used to kill the victim was not the shichishito. What? A foolishly foolish idea born from the foolish mind of a foolhardy foolish fool! Got it. Let's examine this again. What was it that made us think this sword must be the murder weapon? The blood on it. So if it wasn't, what was? Well, it's because Mystic Omni was holding it. Oh, and look at this picture. So the setup crime scene when Mystic Omni is holding it, it is only the tip that's inside of her. Just the tip. Exactly. However, if you reflect on this, that is the only basis we have to assume such a thing. Right, it was a set-up crime scene. The impression left by the scene was just too strong. That is what influenced us. It influenced us to believe that the shichishito was the murder weapon. And it wasn't! So what was? Order! Oh! So, maybe the shichishito was not the murder weapon. Even if that is the case, it changes nothing, Miles Edgeworth. This sister here has seen everything. She saw the defendant stab the victim with a sword-like object. That's true. Your response, Mr. Edgeworth? If that is so, I would like the prosecution to answer the obvious question it raises. The obvious question? Yes, namely, where did the real murder weapon disappear to? Yeah, where did it disappear to? It goes without saying that the police searched the main hall and the surrounding area. Perhaps the prosecution can enlighten us to a sword-like object being found. That's... Answer the question, Miss Von Karma. No evidence of that kind was found. She's sweating bullets! Another mystery to throw onto the pile. A trial without a murder weapon is a tricky beast, eh? Excuse me. Could I say something? I just remembered something, actually. Yes, what is it, sister? I was just thinking, it's possible that, well, just maybe, what actually happened was, it was just over there. I'm sorry? I'm sorry? What exactly are you going on about? The murder weapon, I mean. Maybe, I think I might know where the sword was disposed of. You what? Oh, well, Jesus Christ. Well then, I think we need to hear testimony from you one more time, sister. Impossible. God damn it. We have to do it again. What else could this old woman have seen? Location of the weapon, Jesus. Oh no. I saw the murder at around 11 o'clock. And after asking that it be reported, I went out to the main gate. And there I saw tracks. Tracks that indicated that the snowmobile had been used. It takes 15 minutes to walk to Dusky Bridge, but less than 5 using one of those. Maybe they threw the weapon into Eagle River and came back while I was knocked out. Iris could have done that. She can drive a snowmobile after all. Well, fuck. Witness, please tell us everything you know right away next time. Well, I'm not in the best of shape, you see. With my back and my age, you know. Quite. There were indeed snowmobile tracks in front of the main gate. Here's a photograph. Oh, a snowmobile, eh? I see. Well, it certainly is an interesting theory. Okay. Let me take a closer look at that when I get a chance. The tracks begin in front of the Hazakura Temple and run all the way to Dusky Bridge. That solves your pesky little problem, yes. The Eagle River's current is quite swift, meaning that it doesn't freeze over in the winter, making it the perfect place to dispose of the murder weapon. Oh, did she really go to the river to dispose of the murder weapon? Mr. Edgeworth, your cross-examination, please. We'll press everything and look for some holes in the logic. Alright, she saw it at around 11 o'clock. Okay. Yes, I'm sure about the time. I was worried about it after all. Why was that? Well, because I have a strong sense of responsibility, especially at this time of year. The Acolyte was being doused in freezing water at the time. I couldn't very well take an easy bath all night, could I? Oh my god. So, at 11 I decided to leave Hazakura Temple. Her estimation of the time seems reliable at least. Please continue, sister. Sister. Alright. She went out to the main gate. Fantastic. You asked Phoenix Wright to report the crime, correct? Right. The one who trampled me. Oh, Jesus. It seems she is the type to hold a grudge. There isn't a phone in the main hall, so I sent him to the bridge. Phoenix Wright. He didn't even have his cell phone on him. He had forgotten it at home, apparently. What a naive boy, as always. Not only do I always carry my phone, but I always have my whip in hand, too. Right. Alright, well anyway, you skanky bitch. I was really scared, and it was taking him a while to get back. So I thought I'd go out by the main gate for a spell. And then she saw tracks that indicated the snowmobile had been used. Let's press that. As I recall, there was a snowmobile outside the main gate when I visited. That's it! It's the only one we have. It'll run no matter how much snow falls. Now you're certain the snowmobile was there at the main gate when you arrived? Yes, of course. It was parked in front of the gate. So, she had already gone, discarded the murder weapon, and returned by that time. I'm not sure if this is really relevant. What should I do? Press further. I need answers to every possible doubt. The snowmobile in question, was it still warm at the time? Huh? What do you mean? Oh, what do you mean, eh? What do you mean, Miles Edgeworth? I'm playing to a slow crowd here, I see. It goes without saying that using a snowmobile will heat its engine. If it was still warm, then it means it was recently used, you dumbasses. Ah, I see. I hadn't ever thought about that, you know? Oh yeah, that's right, I overlooked that too. Of course you did. Then answer the question, please, witness. Well, I don't often go around touching hot engines. You don't say. However, now that you mention it, there wasn't any snow on it. Oh, snow. Yes, for some reason, only the snowmobile wasn't covered in snow. There wasn't any snow on it. Curses. Seems highly likely that the killer did use the snowmobile then, eh? How long does it take to get to Dusky Bridge by snowmobile? Less than 5, okay. In that case, why didn't you use it yourself? You could have spared yourself some walking. Ah, there's a reason for that. Have you got a moment for me to explain? Ah, jeez. I think that's why the question was asked in the first place. Well, it was about a month ago. I was driving my beloved little snowmobile, happy as can be. I'd fetched some water and was heading back when I went and crashed it into a tree. Can you believe it? The tree had my back, both went crunch like that. Oh god, that sound effect. I haven't been able to find the courage to ride anything since then. Anyway, the killer must have used it. Okay, press this. Frank! Having the time of your life with the rickrolling. Refresh our memory, how long were you knocked out for? Well, like I said, somewhere between 10 and 20 minutes. It's possible to get to the bridge and back in 10 minutes using the snowmobile. I have to concede that is more than enough time. Is that all you wish to concede, Miles Edgeworth? Alright. Iris could have done it. She can drive a snowmobile. Well, it would have been possible time-wise. One element remains out of place here. Oh, and what would that mystery element be? The killer's reasoning, Your Honor. Why did the killer do all of this? Why go to the Eagle River to dispose of the murder weapon when there are other methods? I see. Too many unanswered questions, eh? Your response, Miss Von Karma. Oh, geez, sorry. Turning to me for help over the slightest thing? Why don't you think for yourself for once in a while, Your Honor? What? She's as over the top as always, I see. Anyway, whatever the reason, the fact remains that the defendant could have done this. Only the defendant could have done this. The murder weapon was disposed of in the river. Another point to me, Miles Edgeworth. Another mystery to feed the fire. Was there any reason to go and throw away the murder weapon? Luckily, there is surely a problem with this testimony. All I have to do is start poking holes in this flawed account. Let me try. She saw tracks that indicated the snowmobile had been used. That might be our thing. Let's look at the tracks. Let's look at the photo of the tracks. So, it definitely appears that there are return tracks, right? Because we see the snowmobile coming back. But like, if she went there and back, shouldn't there be 2 sets of tracks? Do you see my logic in the things that I am saying? I don't know if I'm totally misinterpreting that, but that's what my brain is telling me. Let's throw it and see what she says. Objection! Fuck! Sorry, Your Honor. Oh, don't get smart with me. Get smart with this penalty. It would appear that even I can make mistakes. That's so out of character for Edgeworth. Shoot! Alright, so she saw tracks that indicated that the snowmobile had been used. That's fine. What about... Let me look at the weather again. Snow with occasional lightning strikes. It snowed till approximately 10:50. So it wouldn't have been snowing at 11 when the murder occurred. The murder occurred at 11? That's what we're saying, right? Whoa! Therefore... throwing the weapon into Eagle River and came back while I was knocked out. Maybe they threw it into the Eagle River and came back. Maybe my track logic is still is still on point. Cause like, how would they have came back? Right? I want to keep pushing it. Let's try it here. Objection! Yeah, there it is. Okay, phew. Right idea, wrong statement. Happens to me a lot, actually. I admit this photograph proves something. Yeah, Edgeworth, lay it out to the court. It proves that the snowmobile was used on the night of the murder. So, you finally accepted the inevitable, it seems, Miles Edgeworth. However, if what the witness says is true, then why is there only one set of tracks? There it is, boys! Between heaven and hell. Can a snowmobile be used to get there? Don't they have to cross a wood bridge? No. So the issue... the issue is the only one set of tracks. If she was only going to the actual river to go throw the sword in, you wouldn't have any reason to have to cross the bridge. You would just have to take the snowmobile up to the bridge, throw the thing into the river, and then go back. She wouldn't have had to have crossed. So it's possible to have done it, but we got an issue here because it doesn't look like that's what had happened because there's only one set of snowmobile tracks. What do you mean? Iris left Hazakura Temple, threw the weapon into the river, and then returned. If this was the case, then naturally there should be two sets of tracks in the snow. Those from heading out to the bridge and those from coming back. Ah! You're right! You are forgetting one thing, Miles Edgeworth. What's that? On the night of the murder, it was snowing. The tracks leading to the bridge were erased by the snowfall. Oh, girl, you done messed up. You should have read the rest of the report. And this time I'm talking about the weather report, which stated that the snowfall stopped at 10:50, which is before 11, which is before the murder. This removes your precious contradiction now, doesn't it? I see. Well, she was at the river and the snow stopped, leaving just the return tracks in the snow. What do you have to say now, Miles Edgeworth? Objection! Is there a flaw in her theory? This idea that the snowfall covered the one set of tracks? There's a contradiction. The tracks to the river were covered by snow. What a nice theory. However, Miss Von Karma, that is simply impossible. Would you care to explain? Why is there a rude index finger currently pointed in my general direction? No need. The evidence will do all the talking for me. Oh, my boy's so confident. On the night of the murder, the killer went to and returned from Dusky Bridge in order to dispose of the murder weapon. The outgoing tracks were erased by snow, or so claims Miss Von Karma. Mr. Edgeworth, please present your evidence to the contrary, eh? Evidence that the outgoing tracks were not covered by snow. That would be the weather report. I got this in the bag. Witness, please tell us again what time it was when you witnessed the crime. Well, like I said, it was around 11. Of course. This means that the weapon was thrown away after that time, correct? On that note, please take a look at this data. This is the weather report for Eagle Mountain on the night of the murder. Oh, the weather report. Snow started to fall at 7 p.m., but it stopped at around 10:50. Yeah, bud. Therefore, when the sister witnessed the crime at 11 o'clock, the snow had already stopped falling. It is impossible for any tracks to have been made it is impossible for any tracks made after that time to have been completely covered up. Ah! Yes. These are the words that I have spoken. Order! Very well then. Looks like Miss Von Karma's claim has been snowed in. Oh, sorry about the pun there. It's too soon to be closing this trial due to snow. Everyone's got puns for days. Miles Edgeworth, how pathetic of you to rely on the weather of all things. Well, girl, that's facts. Answer me this then. When is a weather report ever correct? Ah, no, you've got it all wrong. This isn't a forecast. This is actual data. Haha, Franny. Forecast data, all weather reports have some inaccuracies. It may have still been snowing in the vicinity well past 11 o'clock. Well, it's true. We cannot totally be sure. What? Judge, you are not going to accept this. That is an absolute farce. You cannot show evidence, just be like, well, I think that sometimes evidence has mistakes, and therefore, this evidence, I'm telling you, it is not credible. You don't get to just decide that evidence is not credible. What? You need to provide proof of something that would suggest that the report is wrong. You can't just say, well, it might be wrong, so we can't trust it. That's not how the world works, Franny. What? How did she pull that off? It's because she's a pretty woman. Pretty woman, walking down the street, pretty woman, the kind I'd like to meet. Okay, it had stopped snowing at Hazakura Temple when the murder took place. You need to provide conclusive evidence of this. We've come this far, there's no turning back now. Very well, I too cannot allow any doubt to remain concerning this testimony. Ha! You can't back down now, can you? Such a perfectionist, Miles Edgeworth. Need to drop. Alright, Stephen, goodbye. Have a wonderful Friday evening. Hope you're having a fun weekend. Very well then, Mr. Edgeworth. Where's your evidence that it was already stopped snowing when the victim was killed? I have an idea. I have a hunch. Let me go to the body, right? Hang on. Not while she's alive. Crime photo. Do you see any snow on top of this dead body? I sure don't. Let's see if that works. Ultimately, it all comes down to one point. That being, whether or not it was snowing in the courtyard when the victim was stabbed. That's right, but proving that is incredibly easy. Ho ho! God, we're wrecking Franny. She's gonna be so pissed at us. So no, things are still small, but just wanted to toss out there if you ever feel the need to elect a mod, I'm willing. Through a chat mod, position is different from previous mod experience. Oh yeah, thank you very much for that offer. For sure, some of you guys as my, like, trusted friends, if, we ever feel the need that, like, bots are getting out of control or spammy messages are getting out of control, it would probably not be the worst idea in the world to, like, try and figure out some people who could moderate a chat. So that's something I would definitely look into. That's one of the streaming experiences I don't have yet. Luxuries of being small. Size doesn't matter. Yes, it does. If we want to know whether it was snowing or not, this photo will tell us everything. Of course, I am referring to the photo of the crime scene. As you can see, everything is covered with snow. With just one exception. And that is... the victim herself, Miss Elise Donham. Why is there no snow on top of her? The answer is simple. It had stopped snowing when she was killed, that's why. Yeah, girl, come on. You really didn't bring your thinking whip, did you? If the killer really did go to the Eagle River to dispose of the murder weapon, then in this photograph there should be 2 sets of tracks. Order! Just what are you— oh, jeez, I'm sorry. Just what are you suggesting, Miles Edgeworth? To be honest, I'm not entirely sure myself. But this is simply what all the facts point to. That night, someone used the snowmobile to leave Hazakura Temple. There she goes. From the tracks left, it can be understood that they were heading for Dusky Bridge. At that time, it was still snowing. Of course it was, because those tracks were erased by the snow. Then, when this person returned to Hazakura Temple... there they go. The snow had stopped. Thus, the return tracks remained. That's peculiar. So they traveled before the murder happened. Can I say something? This all sounds a bit fishy to me. Yeah, me too, a little bit. What does, sister? Well, there's only one key for the snowmobile. What? Furthermore, on the night in question, we know that the defendant had it. The key was found in her room after the murder. Which can only mean that night, it was Iris who used the snowmobile to go to the inner temple. But Iris said that she had never went there. I should probably press on this point some more when I get the chance. Yes. The snowmobile can't cross the suspension bridge. So she must have left it on the Hazakura side of the bridge and crossed on foot. Yeah, that makes sense. Well, that sounds right. But what's odd is, when I left Iris and returned to Hazakura Temple... I didn't see anything near Dusky Bridge. What? You must have just failed to see it, sister. Maybe so, but when I made it back to Hazakura Temple... it was there, by the main gate. The snowmobile, I mean. I know what I saw. And it was covered in snow, too. What? Okay, let me put this together. So she is testifying, and she's, like, making it very abundantly clear that she was at the inner temple and she saw Iris at the inner temple. This must have transpired before Person X, who we don't know, took the snowmobile. It hasn't been used yet. So she goes back and she's like, oh, that's weird. So I guess Iris isn't the one who used the snowmobile. Okay. So then, one Iris person who this sister saw is hanging out in the inner temple. Person X, who we're also claiming is Iris, later takes the snowmobile out to Dusky Bridge for some reason, comes back after the snow falls, and then after all of this stuff has transpired, that's when the murder happens. Seems like it might be a case of, like, maybe twins or something. I don't know. Did Dahlia escape from prison? And is Iris her own person? It would help explain a lot of these really, really weird discrepancies. But that isn't possible! Order in the court! What does all of this mean? So then what was that snowmobile used for? It wasn't taken by the defendant when she went to the inner temple? If it had been, then the witness couldn't possibly have seen it by the gate. Furthermore, it wasn't used by the killer to dispose of the murder weapon. If that was the case, then there should be 2 sets of tracks in this photo. All we know is this. After it stopped snowing, someone used the snowmobile to return to Hazakura Temple. Oh, Never thought a simple snowmobile could cause so much trouble. So... Interesting. I think we've learned all we can from this witness. Oh yes, I have nothing more to add. I've told you everything that I know. But then, it still leaves us with the same problem. If only there was someone, a witness who could testify to having seen the snowmobile. A witness, huh? Was there no one walking perhaps near Dusky Bridge that night? Anybody? Anybody? No one? Not anybody? Maybe perhaps a man with the name Loris? It's his time, isn't it? I don't think that's likely. It was cold enough to freeze your ears off. Only an idiot would go out wandering in that. Only an idiot, eh? I don't think there were any idiots around. Unless someone had something really important to do. That's a shame. Hold on! Something's coming to me. An idiot may well have gone wandering out that subarctic night. Your Honor, actually, there just might be one individual who may be of help to us. Oh, really? You know of someone who might have seen the snowmobile on the night of the murder? I don't know for sure if he saw it or not, but there are 2 things about him that do come to mind. Oh, which are? First, that he saw something incredible on the night of the murder. And the second being? He's an idiot. This individual that I am thinking of went wandering outside on that cold night. In other words, he is our kind of idiot. Mr. Edgeworth, who is this you're talking about? I am talking about the great artist, Loris. He smells a little bit, but that's only because he's the butts. Oh, this guy must be the product of Jean-Luc de Laduc's Guide to Obnoxious French Painting. Anyway, this is Larry Butts, a disciple of the victim Elise Donham. Oh, her student. Interesting. So I guess he's not a total hoser. And why was he wandering a boat out on the night of the murder? That's... I could tell them all about his designs for Iris, but it may cost us his credibility as a witness before I even call him. He is, after all, an artist. He was perhaps searching for something in the snowy scenery that would move him. Although I cannot guarantee that this is the reason. And so, this unfortunate, unreliable-looking man, what exactly was it that he saw? We'll have to have him testify. I intend to extract that from him right here in this courtroom. Oh. Summon this youth as a witness immediately. I have no choice, do I? I believe he's in the gallery for this trial. It will not take long to summon him. Oh, very well. Larry. You may have escaped me yesterday, but today I'm going to get everything out of you. Haha. The court will now adjourn for a 20-minute break. Miss Von Karma, please see to preparing the next witness. Understood, Your Honor. Good. Well then, court is now in recess. To be continued, boys! Alright, we survived the nun's testimony. Thank God. Alright, we'll save. And, I know, it's a Friday night, so this will be the perfect time to close things out. Hopefully, when I go to this party tonight at fucking midnight, I'll survive and I won't be too tired to have any kind of fun. And then, as you guys know, Saturdays I also take off because weekend vibes. So, for the rest of this trial, we will be calling Larry to the stand on Sunday at 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. If you want to be there, make sure you are subscribed to the channel so you get the notification. Also, please do leave a like on the video. Likes are very much a helpful form of engagement for the live stream, and I do appreciate your guys' support. Thank you so much. I hope you guys all do something fun this weekend, and then you can tell me about it on Sunday when we regroup to do more of the final case of Phoenix Wright, the trilogy. All right. Toodles, fam.